Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into the show that's on in the afternoon. I am so excited for today's show.
We have been waiting for this one. I'm pumped about it. Yes,
exciting stuff happening at the San Sebastian Winery, and we've got the man himself, Charles Cox, the CEO of the San Sebastian Winery.
I'm so pumped, yeah.
Me too. A lot of people have been asking a lot of questions. Very excited for the changes.
Absolutely.
Some great chefs moving in.
Working with some of our greatest friends that we know. Yeah, this is going to be amazing.
Man. So very excited. We will get into that conversation soon. Let you know what you can expect from the revamped experience out there at the San Sebastian Winery. Very, very exciting, man. So we will talk to Charles here in just a couple of minutes. We've also got your funnies, your horoscopes, and all that good stuff. We can't just skip Wednesdays because it's your day.
I realized it's Wednesday. Yeah. Great.
We'll get into all of that, but we will start by telling you about our great friends at Bozard Ford Lincoln. Since 1949, they have been more than just a dealership. They are a family-owned beacon of trust right here in St. Augustine, focused on the principles of honesty, integrity, and community service. That Bozard family tradition continues to thrive through 3 generations of family ownership. Absolutely amazing. Their state-of-the-art facility. I just got lost. I just had a brain fart.
That was wonderful.
I don't know what happened.
Like a pregnant pause there.
All right.
Very nice. Here we go.
State-of-the-art service facility features 91 climate-controlled bays and a quick lane for no appointment needed maintenance. Plus, you can enjoy the comforts of their customer lounge and the unique flavors of Ford's Garage out there. They are the proud recipients of the prestigious Triple Crown Award and named Florida's Dealer of the Year by Dealer Rater. Their team dedicated to providing an enjoyable and efficient experience. Bozard Ford Lincoln offers the best in pricing, selection, and service just off I-95 and State Road 16, where your satisfaction is their mission and they are driven to inspire. Also, our friends at the Bailey Group.
The best.
Yeah, man. Over 300 companies and organizations trust the Bailey Group to carefully craft a benefits program that supports and reflects their vision. No matter where you want to go, they're going to help you get there together. Their first priority, helping you take care of yourself and your family. They want to learn more about your personal situation, identify your dreams and goals, and understand things like your risk tolerance. All those pieces of information help them build the perfect plan for you. Long-term relationships that encourage open and honest communication have always been the cornerstone of their foundation of success. Give them a call today. Let them do that for you. 904-461-1800. And then our good friends at Elase Med Spa. Oh, I hope they've become your good friends as well.
Yeah, they should be if you're on that membership plan.
Yeah, man. They are keeping you looking young out here in St. Johns County. If you're looking for a relaxing and rejuvenating experience, it is Elase Med Spa all the way. They specialize in providing you, their clients, with a wide range of luxurious spa treatments and advanced medical aesthetic procedures. Whether you are looking to unwind with a hydrofacial or enhance your natural beauty with things like Botox, dermal fillers, laser treatments, body contouring, they do all that and a whole lot more. Like you mentioned, Davey, it's great getting on those memberships. You're going to save some money. If you're a regular customer, it's just the perks are unbelievable.
15% off. That's huge when it comes to medical spa services.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Elase, they are the experts here. Go to elase.com and see what they have for you today. All right. Very excited to talk to our guests here today. Charles Cox joining us. He is, of course, the CEO of the San Sebastian Winery. Charles, thank you very much for coming in. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So for people who may not know, I think we're all familiar with the San Sebastian Winery here in St. Johns County, but we've got some new people every now and then, right? Give me a little bit of the background of how you started this whole thing that's just become really a staple of St. Augustine.
Wow, that's a really, really long story. It goes back to when I was probably about 12 years old.
Really? Okay.
So that's when my family started the winery in Tallahassee. Was our first one, Lafayette Vineyards and Winery.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
My dad was actually a CPA at the time, and it was a client of his that his father had about a 10-acre vineyard and asked him how to make money off of a vineyard. And my dad told him, the only way I know is to produce some value-added product from the fruit. And that led to a business plan that he did for him, and then a partnership that they decided to move forward. And he asked my dad, he said, well, you do a lot of people's taxes in town, so you know who has the money, so maybe you can get up a bunch of investors to invest in this thing.
Nice hustle, yeah.
And the guy was an attorney, and he was tired of practicing law. He said, I'll run it, and, we'll do this thing. And so they did. My dad had kind of a background in construction through my grandfather, as well as farming in his background with both his sets of parents and big farms in Quincy, Florida, just west of Tallahassee.
Okay.
And so there was a little bit of knowledge there that he started with, but then it moved forward through Lafayette Vineyards, and then another group came after the freezes in Central Florida and wanted him to do one down there with them, so they invested some more money, a different group of people. And we did Lake Ridge Winery in the late 80s, which opened. Then we had a little bit of financial hiccup in the early 90s, and so we ended up filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and closing the one in Tallahassee, merging everything to the one in Claremont there in Central Florida. I was going to school at Auburn University at the time, and I was actually started in architecture, then went to building science, then switched to business economics, and that gets boring pretty quick. Then went to marketing, and then I got this great offer from him that said, "I need your help, and I can't pay you very much."
Oh, that's always the offer you want to hear, isn't it?
Yeah. Sign me up.
I had already started a little subcontracting construction business while I was finishing up school, and what do you say to that? You know,
Right. What do you say to that?
And took care of you and gave you some great opportunities and knowledge throughout your life. And I guess I looked at it of, I can't screw it up any worse than it already is. I don't know what to do, but I'll figure it out when I get there. So I moved down there and started working my tail off and just, I guess, using my own common sense of what I thought was some of the issues of what we were doing, enhance the tour experience, the visit to the winery, to gain basically people showing up to the winery, because trying to sell it through wholesale at the time wasn't going to work. You have to have people that already like your brand and know your brand and
That romance factor.
recognize your brand and are a little bit loyal to it. So we focused all of our efforts of bringing people to the winery. Came out of bankruptcy a year later. We were having phenomenal growth. We were doing event marketing, creating big festivals to give people a reason to come out to the wineries.
Okay. That's smart.
Attendance and everything started soaring. We then got an opportunity with basically a phone call from a realtor from St. Augustine that said, "There's this building that the city owns on King Street here that we think you could do a winery in." To this day, I have no idea who that was.
Really?
And so we came up, we looked at the building, we liked it, we liked its location, and we renovated it in about 3 or 4 months, created a new brand. And I was coming up here 3 or 4 times a week. We had Lynn Weeks Construction actually was doing some of our remodeling.
Sure.
And then when they would leave at about 3 or 4, my dad and I would show up and work till about 11 or 12 at night and continue the construction. Meanwhile, I was doing all of the marketing and generating the labels and the stuff for San Sebastian brand on the side, and on my way back and forth and working with graphic designers back then, you had fax machines. So I would sketch out ads and design and creative and fax them in the middle of the night to my graphic designer, who would have it ready for me to look at. But every time I got here, there was a nice breeze. It was about 10 degrees cooler. And I always thought living in Central Florida, it was one of the hottest places on earth. At one point, I went to Mexico and decided it might actually be Mexico that was the hottest place on earth. I thought it doesn't really matter where I live. I'm going to have to go back and forth between these places anyway. And so right before we opened, I moved up here, and that was in December of 96, and have been traveling back and forth between the two for, I guess, about 27, 28 years now.
Wow.
And
so you kind of took that game plan into this St. Augustine location, right? Of bringing visitors in, getting them invested in the brand. And I think that's smart. Is that a unique thing, or is that something that a lot of wineries do? Or is that something you guys just kind of said, let's be totally different?
I think a lot of wineries do it. I think especially when you start off as a wine company, you need people to, obviously you need to make a good wine. You need people to be aware that you're making good wine. You need to have people come in and taste. I think there's very few in the United States, and I've seen a lot of the numbers that get the volume of visitors that we get through, especially San Sebastian. We get 160,000 plus a year.
Wow.
That come through there and taste wine and do the tour, the tasting, and hopefully, find one they like. We make about 15 different wines now, and so they range from dry to sweet, red, white, sparkling wine, a pour, cream sherry. I don't expect anybody to like them all. But
what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Well, there's two probably answers to that. There's one that rings the cash register the most.
Yeah.
And so, the financial side says this is my favorite.
Right.
But what I like to drink is a really full-bodied, dry red wine. So a Cabernet Sauvignon, a Petit Syrah, something like that.
Okay.
And so those are the ones I go to the most. But
how's the grape different in Florida versus, Sonoma, Napa, or even France? Like, how is that different? We learned that from Irving, obviously.
Oh yeah, my buddy Irving, he could tell you all about it. But he and I both have traveled the world, I guess, trying all the different varieties. And wine is literally made all over the world, but you just have to figure out what grapes grow well in those regions. And so the difference in the southeastern United States is we're predominantly able to grow muscadine varieties. And there's about 100 varieties of muscadines that are native to the southeast. And it's what the French Huguenots found whenever they moved here. They actually brought their own vines, but they can't take the humid climate, and they get disease, and they usually die within about 3 years. But if you use grapes that are native to any region, then you can produce wine out of it just like we do. And so there's really about 4 varieties that we use that are varieties of muscadines. And why we choose those 4 specifically out of 100 is they ripen very evenly, which is what you want when you're making wine. You want to go out there and harvest it right off the bat. It's not like fresh fruit. You want those to actually ripen very unevenly so you extend your growing season. We want to go out there and get it all at one point and come in, press it, and move forward and start fermenting and making wine.
Your port is excellent. That is like one of our family traditions, like the after dinner drink like that. We always run to that bottle. It's a wonderful port. It really, truly is.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We actually started making that when we came to St. Augustine.
Did you really?
The port and cream cherry are the 2 we added.
Oh, my mom's going to love that fact.
As kind of a nod to history there.
Cool. Yeah. That's
very
awesome.
cool. So talk to me about the experience. I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but what is the experience that you give your visitors when they come to the winery?
The thing I hope we give, and it's probably done better Monday through Thursday as opposed to when there's a whole lot of people coming through and we have to change it up a little bit. But it's a tour experience that educates the visitor on what we're doing, why we're doing it that way, what grapes we're growing, how we're producing the wines we're producing, the quality that goes into it, the time, the effort, because you'd never see on any visit to any winery what happens the whole year. It just it's a process that goes the whole year. And so we try to tell them a little bit of what that looks like. Part of that's done in the walking tour. Part of it's done through a video experience that we have when you first start the tour. And then a lot of the education happens in the end of the tour, which is the best part, the tasting.
Yeah. That's what everybody wants.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what everybody's looking forward to.
Yeah, exactly. So Monday through Thursday is a guided tour throughout the facility. On the weekends, Friday through Sunday, we usually, because of the amount of people coming through, we do stations throughout the facility where you're just walking and finding out a little bit about each wine you're tasting, a little bit about what we're doing, and tasting as you go, spreading out the visitors' experience a little bit, and hopefully not creating a crowded situation where they're getting frustrated and want to go do the next thing. There's a lot of things to compete with here in St. Augustine for people's time.
But it sounds like you guys have it down to a well-oiled machine at this point.
Sounds like it's either that or organized chaos.
There you go. There you go. Whatever gets the job done.
I got to tell you what is one genius thing in marketing that you guys done is that Lighthouse Red. I mean, it's a wonderful gift-giving opportunity because it still pays homage to our town with the beautiful lighthouse. What was that process? Did you come up with that yourself, or was that a marketing team that did that?
Yeah, we did that. And so that I served on the Lighthouse board for a number of years. I guess 10 or 15 years ago. Time kind of flies at some point.
I know, right?
But we had talked about doing that project, and it cost a lot to create, your own bottle, the engineering that goes behind it and whatnot. We actually found a bottle that wasn't the St. Augustine Lighthouse, but it was a lighthouse. And we bought up the stock that the company had in it and produced it, and it was quite successful. But then they basically said, well, that technically we weren't supposed to sell it to you because that's somebody else's, bottle.
Oh, wow.
And so we couldn't get it. And I think they quit making it anyway. And so we revisited the project a year or so later and said, let's just bite the bullet and create our own dye and whatnot. So we worked with our bottle company, and they created the dye, and we actually drew it to the specs of the lighthouse.
Cool.
And
that's
so
great.
that's how that came about. And a portion of the proceeds do go to benefit different projects in the archaeology and the education and whatnot that LAMP does over there.
We love LAMP. Yes. Shout out to LAMP. Cool.
Well, let's get to some of the big announcements here. There's been a lot of chatter about the winery here recently, because, you know, we talked about it on the show a couple of weeks ago, the La Cocina experience, leaving the hotel out of the beach, and many people were very disappointed that they were thinking maybe they may not get to have that experience again.
Right. True.
But shortly after that, the announcement kind of came out that La Cocina is moving to the winery. Talk about that. I mean, this is such an exciting partnership because some of the best food in town, period, comes from La Cocina. You guys have the best wine experience in town. So how did this partnership happen? How long have you known these guys? And I mean, how did this come about and what can we expect? This is just very exciting.
Well, we're excited about it too, tremendously so.
Yeah.
I've known Norberto for 17, 18 years. When we were doing events and wedding receptions and whatnot at the winery, he was one of our go-to caterers that we would use consistently. We became friends. I used to live over at the beach right down from his restaurant, so I would eat there, you know, every week or so.
Lucky you. Yeah.
The unfortunate part is I moved off the island, and you know, there's something about a bridge. You just
You
don't
never-
go back
yeah.
across it very often. But
People
we
don't
go.
leave, or
It's
you know,
true.
they don't go either way. If
That's
you're on
true.
one side of the bridge, you stay there.
So it's a very special occasion when we're going in the past few years. But we're doing an expansion that's coming up that's beside the winery along King Street towards the water, where we're doing a European market, coffee shop, and a restaurant. And so we were going to do a restaurant that he was going to be in charge of in that building, which we're still doing that project. It's just about a year and a half, 2 years away. So we just kind of, you know, sometimes the stars align and everything works out. And so we've been doing a lot of things together with Food and Wine Festival and some other things, and just keeping in touch and often kind of talking about doing it. And I've felt for a long time that we needed to upgrade the experience at the winery. I've always envisioned that a restaurant at a winery ought to be much elevated experience with the wine and the food.
Sure. Got that
But
beautiful
you've got to have the
rooftop
right
and-
person to do it. And so I had the opportunity to get one of St. Augustine's top chefs and into our location, and we did it. We turned it around rather rapidly. We actually opened it yesterday.
Wow.
Really?
Congratulations.
Okay, that was first shot. How'd that go?
Went very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't tell many people, so we kind of letting them get their groove, and
Right.
Cool.
we've blended two teams, and each one of the teams are teaching the other team, how to operate in this environment.
Okay.
Totally, yeah.
And so you've got the upscale experience, you know, reservations in the inside dining room there, and then we've still got the outdoor patios. A lot of people have talked about the music in the evenings.
Right. That's been a
And
big
so
discussion.
That is something that will have to unfortunately end, is the live music at night. We still will have it Thursday through Sunday from 1 to 4 on the patio.
Okay. So it will still be an element.
There will still be that element. And what we were concerned about, a couple of things, actually. The dining experience being so elevated on the interior space, you didn't want a loud band on the outside kind of interrupting that. And then also, we've got one of the hotels of several around us that are being built right now. There's already a couple that are established. And the sound that's, you know, coming off that rooftop at 9:30, 10 at night probably was going to have to go away at some point.
They get some
Sounds
complaints on
anyway.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
And so we made the move. We had a great opportunity. We took it and couldn't be happier about it.
So I got to ask, how's the menu? Is it the same from La Cocina before, or is it something different? Is it a remix? What's new on this menu?
It's very similar. So we started off with almost an identical menu that he had at the beach location. And part of that, I think, when you go into a new space, you want something familiar. His team knows exactly how to execute that menu, the ordering, the suppliers. You've got that all down pat. He'll modify that over time as he gets comfortable in the space. And but right now it's very similar. There's actually 3 menus, so some of them are new. There's a lunch menu, which is consistent from interior dining room to the patio.
Okay.
And then the interior dining room closes at 3 to 5, so they can prep for the dinner. But the exterior space remains open with the bar menu. So that bar menu goes on the exterior space from 3 to 9, and then dinner from 5 to 9 on the interior space.
Wow, smart. Okay,
So-
so it's an all-rounder. No matter what, you can have a touch here. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah. This is very exciting. So What do you see in the future for this partnership? Like, what are the goals? What are you guys driving towards right now?
Well, I think part of it's culinary excellence.
Yeah, gotta be,
wine
right?
and food pairing, which he's achieved, I think, successfully already on his end. We've mastered the wine side of it. We know how to produce it. We know how to produce good quality item that we've done for many, many years and been successful at it. We've got the guest experience. I think that we provide a pretty nice experience for people that come through the winery and enjoy it. And this just offers an elevated experience to those guests that we hope to serve.
Have you ever talked about like special events, like special pairings or anything? Maybe it's like a Wagyu beef in that moment or something?
Yeah. So we've got the barrel room underneath the east patio.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it's cool.
Very cool, very romantic, very elevated space in there. Kind of takes you back to old world look when you're in there. And so we're going to do some winemaker dinners in there, some smaller parties. We've actually got a small party in there next Monday.
That's awesome.
What a unique setting.
And so the smaller groups we can handle in there and do some special evenings in there and whatnot.
It's really special, that room, because it's like just takes you out of St. Augustine and into this whole nother world, because there's barrels everywhere and the lighting's kind of austere. It's kind of mysterious. You're right. It's a very romantic spot to be in. That's cool.
And that's where your favorite wine is aged in there, the port. And so it smells really good.
That's why I like it in there.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. So what do you think's been your most rewarding experience so far as the San Sebastian Winery is concerned?
Wow, that's a good question. I would say probably when you've worked as hard as I have for the past, I guess from 13 on, but really when I moved to Claremont and kind of turned Lake Ridge around and then built San Sebastian from the ground up and developed the brand. It's nice when you work really hard at something and you get to see the success of it. I think that's probably what I liked about construction is you start building a house and you start from the ground and you work your tail off. And then at the end, you get to see something beautiful that you've created and you get to look at it and walk away from it a little bit. I'm probably a while before I get to walk away from this one, although my nephew did just start with us.
Really? Okay.
So he was an accountant, and so he joined us about 2 years ago, and he works out of the Lake Ridge facility. And so he didn't get the benefit of growing up from when he was 13 on in the business like I did.
Wow.
So he's having to learn it all at this stage from every aspect. So he's worked in the vineyard, he's worked in production, he's worked all along.
It's like Publix. You got to start as a bagger, right? You got to do all the chain of command.
They've got to know every aspect of it, right?
Absolutely. And so he's taken that challenge. He's an incredibly intelligent kid and works hard. And so I'm very proud of him and looking forward to maybe him giving me a break one day like my dad had. But I think the success, I think people probably don't really realize how large of a company we are. San Sebastian is relatively small as far as the facility. We've got about 30,000 gallons of space there in tanks and maybe another 5 or so in the barrel storage. We've got 500,000 gallons at Lake Ridge in a facility that's about 5-6 times the size of San Sebastian.
Wow.
And has 127 acres it sits on with a 75-acre vineyard surrounding it. We've got 450 acres up in the Panhandle where we grow fruit on, and we contract with about 6 or 8 other growers throughout the state. And it is pretty shocking how much wine we're producing and selling. And
I had no idea.
I have a dream of filling a swimming pool full of wine. Can we make that happen? That would be so fun, Charles. That'd be an amazing fundraiser.
Well, some of our largest tanks are 25,000 gallons each. So
I'm a merman.
That's a pretty big pool.
But seriously, though, listening to this awesome story, listening to the whole journey, I love this interview, absolutely. But like, what would you say to an entrepreneur out there, someone that's a dreamer, someone that they want to go after it, but what's the Charles Cox approach?
Oh, well, I actually spoke to that. I was a speaker at a recent event for the Visitors and Convention Bureau. And I think there's a lot of misconception of to start a business, what that looks like. And a big part of it is the amount that fail. And it's a tremendous amount that fail. It's something, I forget the exact numbers, but to get to 40 years, which we just celebrated our 41st birthday, I think, last year, it's like 2% of the people out there actually can run a business that long successfully.
Mm-hmm.
And even to get to 5 years, you're down to maybe 25% of the people that open a business make that happen. I think there's a lot of misconception that by starting my own business, I'll be able to have all this free time with my family and I'll be able to set my own hours and this is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work.
You better get ready to work about 3 times more than you did the first
Especially
time.
right off the bat.
And you're going to do it all yourself because you can't afford to pay anybody.
Right.
True.
And
Yes.
so you're going to be the landscape guy. You're going to be the maintenance guy. You're going to have about 10 different jobs. And it's not until you reach success that you have the ability to afford the people to give you a break. And that takes a while. And so I would say go in it with an open mind. It is great, though.
Yeah.
Once you have achieved success. And the thing that I think, back to your question earlier, what am I so proud of? We've done something that no one's ever done in the state of Florida and to the scale that we've done it. And so I'm pretty proud of that. And I'm certainly looking forward to what the future holds for us.
Yeah, you should be. And I see a bright future here, especially with this partnership. I know a lot of people are very, very excited about it. And we're very excited to have the opportunity to talk to you about it. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming in and
100%
getting us updated and giving us the news that you guys are open. Now, can people stop in today and get a taste of this experience then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
You can make reservations on Open Table.
Okay.
It's live now. The interior space, I think people will notice the difference. We have a very good nod there to his old space in the hotel. And
cool,
so people will recognize a lot of the things from that space that have moved over.
Cool.
And it's a great experience. Right when you come off the elevator on the 3rd floor, the aromas that you get immediately. And being that I go up and down there, especially lately, a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Everybody in the building is starving.
How could you not get a whiff of some of that food and think, you know what, I got to eat now? Yeah. Charles Cox, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. This was a great talk. Very excited for you.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you, sir.
Dude, this is going to be so huge.
Definitely.
This is going to be so huge.
Yes.
I cannot wait to get out there. I got to get out there immediately.
Yeah. And what did Troy say? It's definitely on like the restaurant circuit for like, let's go out to eat.
Yes.
That's on the list. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Troy has already put them on his new restaurant circuit.
Exactly.
So he'll be excited to know that he can get down there today.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm texting him as you speak.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me speak so you can text him and then he'll be all set.
Awesome.
Old Town Trolley. I believe Old Town Trolleys, I believe the San Sebastian Winery, are they a stop? Yeah.
Yes,
you guys are a stop on the Old Town Trolleys.
Fantastic.
You can sit back and relax as Old Town Trolley's licensed and talented tour conductors share over 500 years of St. Augustine's history, culture, and old world charm while you experience the unforgettable views aboard their open-air trolleys. Guests going to enjoy the city's European flavor, the brick-lined streets, and the sights such as the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, the San Sebastian Winery, and Henry Flagler's former Ponce de Leon Hotel. It's a 90-minute tour featuring 22 stops covering more than 100 points of interest. It is the best thing to do if you got friends or family visiting in town. They want to see St. Augustine, but you don't want to drive them around. Let Old Town Trolley drive them around.
Right.
And give them all the real information. You also don't know all the real information.
Right.
Old Town Trolley does. They are the green trains. They are absolutely amazing. You're going to love them.
And for a fabulous 45 years, Steve Chapman's All-American Air have been the AC hero of St. Augustine and beyond. We're talking St. John's, Flagler, Duval, and Putnam counties. They're not just experts, they're the cool cats of warranty and non-warranty service work. They have preventative maintenance service agreements, new construction installations, and rocking high-efficiency systems. From Lennox Wonders to the ultra-smart iComfort thermostat, they've got all your HVAC products in sight. Give them a call. Get on those maintenance plans. 904-461-0070.
And speaking about wine, Ben 39.
There they are.
Irving's name came up a few times in that conversation.
Yes.
They have quietly existed within the hustle and bustle of St. Augustine since 2016. 2016, they've been around a while. Well, geez, they're coming up on 10 years right now. That's awesome.
Such a
That's
cool
huge.
team.
I mean, you heard how highly Charles spoke of Irving and his expertise in wine.
Absolutely.
And you, it's not just Charles who has access to him.
Right.
You have access to Irving and his vast vault of knowledge as well. If you're looking to find your new favorite wine, Bin 39 is the place to go. And not only Irving, but everybody there, the entire staff is unbelievably knowledgeable about wine, and they can help you find your new favorite, or they can help you find one that's going to be the perfect fit for an upcoming event. Whether you need to bring the wine or you're hosting the event, of course you need to bring the wine if you're hosting it. Give them a call, 904-827-5740. Don't mess up the wine at the event.
No.
It's a big deal. You got to get it right.
You guys should have heard Charles talk about Irving behind the scenes. Like, he was like, if there's a party or there's something's going on, Irving is always going to come correct. Yes. So definitely have him as your wine consultant.
For sure. It's really cool that people are able to do that.
I know,
From
right?
such a knowledgeable guy.
Such a cool dude.
All right. Speaking of knowledge, the stars give us a lot of knowledge.
Oh, happy.
We're in for horoscopes this afternoon. Scorpio and Sagittarius. We'll start with Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio, your passion and intensity are absolutely wasted on the menial tasks filling your week.
Great.
Expect people to misunderstand you, as always, and turn even your best intentions into fuel for new grudges.
Oh.
Your tendency for secrecy will do wonders for your personal relationships, by which I mean it will drive everyone away. You won't have any friends.
That's fine.
Financial endeavors will leave you wondering why you even bother. Look on the bright side. At least you still have that evil glare that makes people question their life choices.
No, it's an underbite. I have an extended jaw, like a cat, like an extended cat. Sammy Davis Jr.
There you go, Sammy Davis.
That's
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Very talented man.
Sagittarius.
Oh, lovers.
Saddle up, Sagittarius, because your relentless pursuit of freedom will hit yet another wall of crushing responsibilities.
Oh, whoa.
Your adventurous spirit will be about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Oh, I get it. When your boss decides to dump extra work on your desk, expect frustration in your personal life as well. People will tire of your endless ramblings about that thrilling vacation you can't afford.
Yeah, I hear you.
Financially, you'll be walking a fine line between broke and completely broke. Think of it as a character building experience, like you needed more character.
Maybe go camping. Cheaper.
There you go.
Ooh, well, I'll tell you something to do. Here, save the date. Join Epic Behavior Healthcare for multiple screenings of My Ascension during the week of August 25th through August 29th at various locations around St. Augustine to spotlight suicide prevention efforts for the youth. This is an incredible program to help reduce stigma around mental health and suicide. Epic Behavioral Healthcare and Inc. Investing in Kids, the St. Johns County School District and the United Way of St. Johns County, Lutheran Services Florida, Betty Griffin Center, and St. Augustine Youth Services, as well as the Tanya Cook Foundation, are advocating for the importance of talking about suicide awareness and prevention of screening the film. That is huge. I have never reported so many agencies rallying together and showing the importance of this film. I'm telling you guys, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see Saturday the 25th at the Link. There's Monday the 26th at St. Augustine High School, Tuesday the 27th at Pedro, Wednesday at Tokoi Creek, and Thursday at Creekside. Super, super cool. I'll put link in comments if you guys can check this out. It's definitely going to change your world and bring some great awareness to teen suicide prevention.
Yeah. She was a great guest to have on the show.
Such a great lady. Well, she's coming to town. I'm really hoping that she has time to talk to us again. Really would love to see Emma Benoit again. Yeah. Hey, Passport Saturday is happening. This is a really nice program because I know a lot of us are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So you really can't get to the passport office. So this is a Saturday, save the date, August 3rd from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. No appointments are required, but if you need to get a passport out there, this is a really good way to get it on the weekend so you don't have to leave work. I know that sometimes that's troubling for some people. It's very challenging. So long story short, you can go over to the St. Johns County Administration buildings over at the Richard O. Watson Judicial Center.
All right.
Yeah, so that'll be there for you. More information on Facebook. Just go to St. Johns County Clerk of the Circuit Court. I'll tag them in this so you can just click the link.
And that's a very easy process.
Yes.
I got my first passport recently.
Smart.
And it was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Smart.
Yeah.
Ooh, major shout out. Everyone save this day too, because Jenna messaged me to make sure we give this out today. So July 13th is the Hastings Night Market.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a big
People
one.
excited about this one.
The sun is down. It's going to be a nicer weather moment. Yeah. So experience the magic of their premier night market with live music, the Stats Band, to a variety of food vendors and artisan creations. There's something for everybody. Family-friendly gathering. Join them Saturday again, July 13th, 4 to 8 p.m. at the Beaux-Arts Field, which is 418 North Main Street in downtown Hastings. Super, super fun. The cost is $35. Oh, if you want to be a vendor, The cost is $35. That's so great for a 10 by 10 space.
Okay.
Food trucks are $70 with limited availability. There's tents, tables, chairs, all the fun stuff. Check them out. Hastings Main Street Night Market. I'm going to tag you guys in comments so you can, I'm definitely going to be there with some buddies. That's a good time.
It's great.
Yeah.
I went to the last market that was not at night.
Right, me too.
Yeah. It was great
fun.
out there.
So
a lot of fun. Speaking of fun,
All right.
can't usually say that about the dentist, can you?
No, but this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Magnolia Family Dentistry, they really are redefining what it means to visit the dentist in St. Johns County and St. Augustine. Led by Dr. Rodriguez, Magnolia Family Dentistry is not just about clean teeth. It is about a clean and extraordinary experience, a different experience. From the moment you walk through their doors, you're going to be welcomed into a state-of-the-art practice that prioritizes your comfort and your well-being. And just fun people to be around.
Absolutely.
Just the mood in that dentist's office is really, really great. It's going to lift you up. Sometimes you can be anxious going into the dentist's office.
I know I am. It's like a spa for your mouth. It's wonderful.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. They're great at what they do. Make an appointment. See what all your friends and neighbors are raving about. 904-824-0990. And our friends at Shayla Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Say no more. It is Shayla Moore. You can step beyond the velvet rope and into the heart of plush at Shayla Moore in Uptown St. Augustine. St. Augustine's premier jazz venue, tapas lounge, and special event space. Treat yourself to an unforgettable evening with Chef Ellie Rose's artisanal tapas as they dazzle your taste buds, and Chef Austin crafts fresh, vibrant, and exclusive sushi experiences to elevate your palate. Sip on fabulous drinks while live jazz fills the air. It really is one of the most unique atmospheres.
So nice.
In St. Augustine. It's a 21 plus experience, and it is just absolutely beautiful. There is nothing else like it. And, you know, what I love is they brought together some of the most talented chefs, some of the most talented musicians to really make this an experience like no other.
We didn't have a
St.
sexy
Augustine.
spot in town. This is a wonderful date night spot. Yeah.
Yep.
The mood lighting is perfect. It's plush. It's all, like they said in the read, it's plush. It's so great.
They have parking.
Yep. Yeah.
They have parking, which is huge.
Yeah.
And think about reserving the space for an event. It's a great place to have a little gathering
Like
out
a holiday
there.
party?
Yeah, like a holiday party. And if you're going to do that, you want to do it quickly because they're filling up on these things. But if you mention 904 now, you're going to save $200.
Hey.
$200 on that reservation. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's amazing. They're open 7 days a week from 4 to 11, and they feature nightly entertainment at 7 p.m. You can reserve your table now by checking out bitesbubblesandjazz.com.
And Panache, every guest, every time. Since 1987, Panache opened its doors to be a cut above the rest. Their mission at Panache is to care for their team, guest community from scalp to soul and bring the joy to the world one service at a time. Their carefully chosen and highly trained staff there are exceed your expectations. The same goes for their elegant salon space dedicated to guest comfort and devotion to innovation and artistry. They're focused on making your day and continually raising the bar by aligning with Aveda's mission of ethical and sustainable business practices. Go to getpanache.com and get with it, boo.
All right, man.
All righty.
How are we ending this thing today?
We've got what could go wrong. Times people had a worse day while trying to clean their home.
I feel like everything went wrong.
I know everything went wrong. This first person is while cleaning and getting ready to move out after 2 years.
Oh.
I hit the oven's door and broke the glass. There goes the deposit money.
Yep. Oh, that's
what a
rough. That
mess.
hurts me. I feel bad.
I feel bad for that person, yeah. Oh, man, my brother and I were cleaning out the attic, and then I heard a loud crash and saw this above. I chose to take a picture before actually helping.
I know, right? That's what most people do these days. Take the picture, then maybe help.
You need the evidence, yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, I just wanted to clean the window.
Oh, man.
Yeah, crash. Next up, home alone, cleaning the roof and the gutters when I hear a loud bang.
This would happen to me. This is what happens when you try to do everything yourself.
Yeah, Bueller. Yeah. Next up, new cargo shorts accidentally sat on a stool that my sister was cleaning with Clorox bleach.
Oh.
Why are we cleaning with bleach on a stool? Not smart.
Yeah.
Next up, I was doing renovations and my Roomba found a tiny piece of sheetrock.
Oh.
Not fun.
It's like an Egyptian hieroglyphics there
Okay,
or something.
then maybe we'll go with that.
Yeah, sure.
Very nice.
It's a
Next
new
up,
design.
just say that we ended up with a very clean laundry room floor. Yes, this person is an idiot.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't put anything else other than laundry detergent.
That's right.
And we learned from Meredith that soap is just kind of it's just like a thing that we think that we need to have in detergent.
I've been doing those washer sheets that she gave us.
Are you loving that?
They're
love
great.
it. Yeah.
Easy, work great.
Me too. I signed up for a subscription on that.
There you go.
Hey, I hear screaming coming from the living room, and my 5-year-old is on the floor with her hair sucked up and tangled in the robot vacuum.
How does that happen in the first place?
She was probably like laying on the floor, just chilling in the thing.
Didn't realize.
Whoops.
Oh, that's an unwanted haircut.
Ooh, how about this one? I was washing the dishes and the sink just gave out.
Okay.
Right?
That's a problem.
That's a huge problem. Jeez, maybe some caulk? I don't know. And the last one here, got reminded myself that ceramic and glass are not a great idea to put together. I tried to clean my pepper grinder, and what are you doing? Yeah.
What?
Dopey.
What?
So what are you cleaning a pepper grinder for? God.
In the washing machine. And that's nuts.
Not the brightest.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. All right, man. Good show.
Yes,
Thank you for wrangling that together.
Yeah.
Thank you to the boys in the booth. We appreciate you and everybody watching. We'll talk to you in the morning.
Bye, everybody.